Hello, in this video, we will begin to introduce Chapter 7, Lists. We will use lists to store a list of values. Suppose you are going to write a program to read in 100 numbers, compute the average, and then find out how many of the numbers are about the average. Your program first reads the numbers and it computes the average, then compares each number with the average to determine whether it is above the average. In order to accomplish this task, the numbers must all be stored in variables. To do this, you will have to create 100 variables and repeatedly write almost identical code 100 times. Writing a program this way is impractical. So how do you solve this problem? The answer is to use list. So there is an efficient way for storing 100 integers into the list. Through the list, we can access all the elements using the index. So let's look at the lists. A list represents a collection of objects, a collection of integers, a collection of floating point numbers, a collection of strings, or a collection of mixed objects. To create an empty string, this is the syntax. You can put the brackets, empty brackets, assigned to list 1. To create the list with 3 elements, 2, 3, 4, you can write it, the numbers, put it in the brackets. And this is to create a list of 2 strings. And this is to create a list from the sequence 3, 4, 5. This is to create a list from the string, but this you're going to get characters from the string. So this list consisting of characters A, B, C, D. List is a sequence. String is a sequence too. All the sequence have common operations. So these are the common operations for sequence. We can test if this element X is in the sequence, not in the sequence. We can concatenate the 2 sequences together. We can use repetition operator to get the n copy of the sequence. We can access the elements in the sequence using the index. We can use the slice operation to get a slice of the sequence. And this is from I and all the way to j minus 1. So this is before j. We can find out how many elements are in the sequence using this len s and get the minimum, maximum in the sequence, get the sum of all the elements in the sequence using a for each loop to traverse all the elements in the sequence, compare 2 sequences using the relational operators. Now, let's look at the functions for the list. This is the list, and this is the len, that's 5 elements. This is the max, 32. This is the min, that is 1. This is sum, that's 42. You can random shuffle here, import random random data shuffle list. This is the list one. So this is the result of shuffling. Let's look at the index operator. So the index starts from 0. This is the list of all the floating point number values here. And at my list 5, it's right here, brackets 5. And so my list is actually, look, it's a reference variable that points to the object. The entire list is an object that holds all these elements in the list. You can use the index the variable. So use this, my list brackets I, this is the 0, and this is 1, and add those two values sent to my list brackets 2. Use for each loop to traverse all the elements. So this is for this I in range. Here is my list. So you're going to assign I to my list brackets I. So please be aware that accessing a list out of bounds is a common programming error that results in a runtime index error. So the last index in the list is len my list minus 1. The first one is 0. So if you write this code here, y I is less than or equal to len my list, you're going to print my list. The last one will be wrong because it's out of bounds. Now, the index, you can also use the negative that is from the back here. This is 21, and this negative 3 is this 2. List slicing. This is the start, end, and with the optional step. So if you don't have a step, the step is 1. So here is 2 to 4, but it's before 4. So this 2 is starting here, 5, 7. That is the index here is 3 for 7 right here. And so it's going to be before 4. 0, 5, 2, steps 2. So starting from this, the first one, every 2. So this is 2, 5, 9. That is before the index 5. If the start index is missing, it's omitted. So that is by default, it goes to 0. It's same as from 0 to 2. And this is if you don't have the ending one, so that's it's the last one, 3 all the way to the end, 21. You can also use the negative index in the slicing. So this is 1, negative 3 is, you're going to start from this 3 is 1, and then 3 is coming here. And then just before this negative 3 is 5. Negative 4 is, this is negative 1, 2, 3, 4. It's starting from 5. And now this is negative 2. And this is the 1, so this is 5, 2. You can assign a sublist, a list into the slicing. So here, list 1 from this 1 and here 2. So replace this 3, 5 by 9, 8. The plus, multiply, in, not in operators. this is two string, list one, list two. You can combine those two strings together using the plus, and you can use repetition. This is multiply. This list one is now repeated 3 times. You can use the in and not in operators. Traversing elements using a for each loop. So for each element in my list, and this, you're going to print the element. So this is for each loop. That is all for this video. We will continue to introduce the methods in a list and other features for a list in the next video. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video.